Hey y'all, Nico here. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for joining me. I'm Nico. Yes, I am in a new space, so if you've been watching me for a while, then you can tell I'm in a new space. I'm still getting everything together, getting everything decorated, so welcome to this new space. Today's practice is a gentle talk through yoga. So I'm going to be doing a lot of talking, a lot of chatting, and this is just for people who prefer to hear a lot of talking while they are practicing yoga. So it'll be kind of ASMR like, just so you'll be able to hear my voice more if that's what you enjoy. So let's go ahead and get started in a comfortable seated position. And we're just going to start with some neck circles. So make sure you're sitting nice and tall, but we'll do some couple breaths first. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Take a second deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. One more deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Good. Now let's come back to our natural breath. Releasing any control over the breath. Letting it flow naturally. And maybe you can establish an even breath in and out of the nose to use throughout the practice. And this will just help to keep your body calm. It'll activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest system, allowing you to relax further as you breathe. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And then let's go ahead and start to bring some movement into the body. So start to circle your head to the right side. Inhale back and exhale forward. We're going to kind of bring our body into the movement as well. So kind of use your whole body. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Good. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Let's do a couple more times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. Let's switch directions. Moving the other way, we're doing the same things. Rotate that head. Bring the body into the movement. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Move with your breath. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Good. Let's do a couple more times. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. We'll come back to a neutral spine, sitting nice and tall. Take an inhale, extend the arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers, press the palms away, reaching up, breathing up, nice and long, tall spine. Exhale, release the hands, twist to the right side, left hand outside of right knee, right fingertips rest behind you, looking to the right or over the right shoulder. Relax those shoulders down away from the ears. Keep the spine long. Imagine a string pulling you up through the crown of your head to be able to maximize the full potential of the pose. Let's inhale, come to center. Interlace the fingers, press the palms away. Exhale, twist to the left. Right hand outside of the left knee, same thing. Sitting nice and tall. Look over to the left or over the left shoulder. Good. Maintaining that breath. Let's flow. So we'll move a little bit faster, just flowing to each side. Inhale, interlace the fingers, press the palms away. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Twist left. Good. Inhale, center. Twist to the right. Inhale, center. Twist to the left. Good. Let's do one more time each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Good. Let's inhale, center one more time. Exhale, release the hands to rest on the knees. Take your right hand, plant it down on the ground beside you, and let your left ear fall to your left shoulder for this gentle neck stretch. You should feel this in the right side of your neck, maybe the top of that right shoulder. And we can also add in a gentle nod, so kind of nodding the head back and forth. And maybe you'll feel a different sensation, or maybe you'll feel a different area of the neck or the shoulder be stretched. It's a nice subtle addition to this pose, this posture. And this is one of my go-tos for tightness in my shoulder and my upper back. Good. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. The left hand rests on the ground beside you. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Good. Feeling that stretch in the neck and the shoulder. And finding our gentle nod. Just gently moving the head back and forth. Again, to get that different sensation. To really get deeper into that neck stretch and shoulder stretch. Hopefully releasing any tension we may be holding here on the neck or the shoulder. We tend to hold a lot of tension here as things often weigh down on our neck and weigh down on our shoulders. We want to try to release that now. Good. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Let's make our way to Balasana, child's pose. So we'll come to hands and knees. We'll bring our big toes together, our knees wide, and we'll start to float the hips back towards the heels, extend the arms forward, and melt your chest down towards your mat. Of course, if it's difficult for you to sit all the way back on your heels, place a couple of pillows underneath your hips, or keep the hips more lifted, coming to more of a puppy pose if you need to. Good, we'll sit the hips back, extend the arms forward. Let the forehead, the chin, or the cheek come down to the mat. And just surrender to the pose. Try to keep those shoulders kind of relaxed away from the ears, still here in your Balasana. Good. I can also feel a good stretch in my knees, which feels really nice. So we're opening up the knees, we're opening up the hips. In between the shoulder blades. It's one of my favorite poses to do, period. Our resting posture. This is a pose you can come to at any time. When you need a break, you can rest down in your child's pose, come into your Balasana, and it's totally fine. So while we're here, let's go ahead and take our hands and walk them over to the right side of our mat. Maybe that left hand even rests on top of the right, and we'll melt back down towards our mat. So now we're kind of feeling this side body stretch on the left, and maybe feel a different sensation in that left hip as well as we're reaching the hands over to the right side. Still opening up the hips, opening up the shoulders, and now we're getting into the side body. I can feel this in my upper back on the left side too. Inhale. Exhale, walk your hands over to the left, same thing. Maybe your right hand comes on top of your left hand, melting back down into your balasana, feeling that side body stretch on the right side. Really getting deep, feeling it up through the rib cage, in the right hip, the right arm. It feels so good to stretch and release and let go and surrender to this practice. And inhale. Exhale, walk your hands back to center. Let's make our way up to hands and knees, and we'll do Marjariyasana and Bidalasana. So some cat-cow, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Take an inhale, flip the tailbone upward, arch the spine, lift the chin. Good. And that nice arch here in your cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin down to the chest. Pull that belly button in and up. Good. Tuck the tailbone under. Let's do a few more rounds. Inhale. Arch the spine. Lift the chin. Press the tailbone away. Exhale. Round the spine. Chin to chest. Tuck the tailbone under. Good. Continue to move with your breath. Inhale. Arch the spine. Lift the chin. Flip the tailbone up and away. Exhale, round the spine. Tuck the tailbone under. Bring the chin down to the chest. Keep flowing. Inhale, arch. Lift. Exhale, round. Chin to chest, tuck under. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Let's make our way down to our belly and come to our forearms for Salamba Bhujangasana Sphinx pose, but we're going to add in our half frog pose. This is a pose I really like. So make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide. Engage the shoulders here. Press the shoulders away from the ears. Slightly pull those forearms back. You'll already feel a nice back bend here in your Sphinx pose, in your Salamba Bhujangasana. We're going to take our right knee and slide it up in line with our right hip. Inside of the right foot will rest on the ground, and we're still nice and engaged through the shoulders, pulling those forearms back, but now we're getting this stretch inside of that right hip. It's a great hip opener. I've been kind of doing a variation of frog pose often because I'm trying to get more flexibility in my groin and get more flexibility in my hip area. So this pose feels really good. Remember to keep the shoulders engaged. Keep that nice back bend here. If it doesn't feel good for you, you can always release that right leg to straight again and just do regular Sphinx pose. It's always nice to remember that you have options. You don't have to do everything exactly as I do it. It's always important to do what feels good for your body and what you are enjoying. We don't want to injure ourselves or put ourselves at risk for injury. Take an inhale. Exhale, extend that right leg to straight. Let's shake our hips out a little bit. Maybe you can kind of feel the difference between the right side and the left side already. So let's do the same thing on the other side. Slide that left knee up in line with the left hip. Keep that nice engagement through the shoulders. Pull those forearms back. Inside of the left foot is resting on the ground. Feeling that hip stretch here on the left side, and while maintaining this back bend. And just remember to breathe here. Of course, if you need a break, you can always release the pose and come to child's pose or come to something that feels better for you. We want to take care of ourselves during these practices, and we want to make sure that we are enjoying the experience, that it's not painful or discouraging. So remembering you have options is so important to your practice. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, extend that left leg to straight again. We'll shake the hips out a little bit. Good. Let's slide the hands back underneath the shoulders and press up to a table position. From here, we're going to come to a low lunge. So take your right foot, step it up in between your hands. Let that right knee be nice and aligned over your ankle here. And we're actually going to take both hands, just bringing them right above this right knee as we come to this variation of Anjaneyasana low lunge. Another nice and deep hip stretch. So feel free to bend into your right knee a little bit further if you want to deepen the stretch more, or feel free to come back a bit if you want to ease out of the stretch more. But you can definitely feel this in your hips, in your psoas, which is that area in the front of your hip. Feels really good if you're trying to release any stagnation you may be holding in the hips. We'll take a couple more breaths here in our Anjaneyasana variation, low lunge. Bring your hands down to the ground if you need to, of course, that's totally fine. Let's take an inhale here. Exhale, we'll bring both hands down on the inside of the right foot. And we'll roll onto the side of the right foot, coming to our lizard pose, Uttanapristhasana. Now you can stay up here on the hands, or if you want to come a bit deeper, you can lower down to the forearms. So you'll really feel that deep stretch in that right hip, maybe outside of the right hip along the IT band area. Really deep, satisfying stretch. But whether you are down on the forearms or up on the hands, you should feel a stretch either way. And if it starts to become difficult, feel free to release the posture. Feel free to bring that right foot flat and stay up on the hands in a lunge position. Again, we're always making sure we're taking care of our bodies. We're not pushing ourselves beyond our edge. We are doing what works for us and understanding that that looks different for everyone. Let's take a couple more breaths here in our Uttanapristhasana. Inhale. Exhale, come up on the hands. Let's go ahead and step this right foot back, coming to a table position. Let's do a couple of hip circles to the right while we're here. And maybe you could feel the difference between the right side and the left side. We'll come back to table. And then we'll step the left foot up in between the hands now. Take the hands, bring them to the top of the left knee for our modified version of Anjaneyasana on this side. And again, you can bend a little bit deeper, or you can bring the hips back a bit, whichever feels better for you. Feeling that deep hip opening, feeling that stretch in the psoas, the front of the right hip here. Nice deep stretch you can use at any time. Fairly simple stretch. We'll take an inhale here in our Anjaneyasana. Exhale, our hands come down inside of the left foot. We can roll to the side of the left foot, getting ready for our lizard pose, Uttanapristhasana on this side. So you can either stay up on the hands or come down to the forearms on this side as well. Deepening the stretch in the left hip along the left IT band. And we often tend to store emotions in the hips. So I get a lot of comments of people saying, I cried during this practice. Is that normal, or is it normal that I got emotional? Yes, it's normal. A lot of people get emotional during yoga practices because, again, we tend to store emotions in our hips. So once we are doing that hip opening, we're letting a lot of that go. We're releasing a lot of that stagnant emotion. And that's a good thing. We want to release any emotions that need to come out. We don't want to hold on to them. We don't want them to be pent up. Best thing you can do is release them and be free and embrace that healing, embrace that release, embrace that act of letting go. It's important for us because there are many times we're in environments where we feel like we can't do that, but during your yoga practice, it's personal. It's for you, it's for your self-care. So it's a safe space for you to be able to let go in that way. Let's take a couple more breaths in our lizard pose on this side. Inhale. Exhale, come back up on the hands. Make your way back to a table position. And then from here, let's make our way to a seat with the legs extended forward. And from here, we'll bring a deep bend into your knees. So go ahead and take your hands, bring them to the outside of the feet, and we'll start to scoot our hips back for this modified version of Paschimottanasana, seated forward bend. And just scoot your hips back until you feel a stretch. So you may have your knees more bent, or they may be more straight. It just depends on your flexibility. And feel free to let your head relax down towards your knees so we could really get that stretch in the back body, in the upper shoulders. As we also feel the release in the hamstrings, in the lower back. And maybe as you start to feel a bit more comfortable into the posture, you can scoot the hips back a little bit more. But if not, that's okay too. Wherever you're at is just fine, because yoga meets you where you are. There's not pressure to be able to do the full expression or the advanced version of a pose. You do the version that works best for your body. And that is different for everyone. One is not better than the other. It's all about you and how you feel within it. Let's take a few more breaths in our Paschimottanasana just because I like this pose so much. I love the full body stretch you get from your back to your legs to your shoulders. You stand to gain so much from this posture. Good. And we'll take an inhale. Exhale, let's roll back up to a seat. Good. We'll keep the left leg extended here. And we'll bend into the right knee. Let's step this right foot over to the left side. So this right foot is on the left side of the left leg. Left leg is still extended straight. Let's inhale this left arm up. Exhale, twist to the right. Let the right hand rest behind you. Bring the left elbow outside of the right knee for Ardha Matsyendrasana, or half Lord of Fishes pose. Now you can stay just like you are here. If it's difficult to bring the elbow outside of the knee, take this left arm and just hug the right knee. Hug the right leg in towards you. That works too. You can stay here in this version. If you want to come a bit deeper, you can bend that left leg as well, bringing it over towards the right hip. Deepening the stretch here. Make sure you're still sitting nice and tall, imagining that pin pulling you up through the top of your head. I can feel this in my shoulders, in my upper back, in my hips. Another stretch that's great for many areas of the body. And this is one that's good for digestion too, because of this twisting we're doing, wringing out our organs, helping us detox, helping us get rid of anything in our body that we don't need, get rid of waste. We'll keep that in mind as well. And it's a good idea to drink some water after you do yoga, just to help move along that detox process. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, come to center. Extend those legs to straight. And let's do the other side. So we'll bend into the left knee. Step the left foot over to the right side. Inhale this right arm up. Exhale, twist, bringing that elbow outside of the knee. Looking over to the left or over the left shoulder. Remember, if you need to modify, you can just hug that knee in instead of bringing the elbow outside of the knee. And if you want more, we'll bend this right leg, letting this right foot come towards the left hip, deepening our stretch here. Remember to keep that spine long. Keep the back nice and tall so we're not slouching down, nice and engaged. Imagine being pulled up through the crown of the head so we can get the full benefits of the pose, of the posture. Let's take a couple more breaths in our half lotus fishes pose. A couple more moments getting that back stretch, that shoulder stretch. Good, inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Let's bring the bottoms of the feet together and we'll come to Baddha Konasana, bound ankle pose. So you can take your hands, either grab the front of the ankles or you can cup the feet. Maybe the thumbs coming inside of the feet. Take an inhale. Keep your spine long for this one to start. Exhale, hinge forward. Nice flat back here. So this is another good one. You'll start to feel in your lower back, maybe even in your mid back here. You can come down a little bit deeper if you like. Keeping that back flat so you can feel the stretch in the back. Shoulders relax down away from the ears. Make sure keep those shoulders away so that we're not creating any tension in our neck space. So we don't want this. We want to be nice and relaxed. Want to surrender to the pose. Want to release any tension. Just allowing our bodies to rest and take full advantage of this time that we've set aside for ourselves. Good, let's take an inhale. Exhale, roll back up to a seat again. Let's bring the feet flat onto our mat. Scooting the hips close to our heels, we'll make our way down to our back. Hugging our knees into the chest, rock side to side here. Give that lower back a massage. Good. Let's bring our arms out wide on either side of our body. We'll float the knees up over the hips and let both knees fall over to the right side. So as you're here, try to keep both shoulders as close to the ground as you can. If your left shoulder is lifting a lot, feel free to bring a pillow underneath the left shoulder to give you a bit more support. And this is another good detoxifying posture as well because of the twisting we're doing here, wringing out the organs. And you find that nice steady breath that helps you to detox even more, helps you to rest and digest even further. Let's do a couple more breaths here. In your spinal twist. Inhale. Exhale. We'll float the knees back over the hips. And then we'll do the same thing, just letting them fall over to the left. Looking up to the ceiling, or you can even look over to the right side. Finding that deep stretch. Let your body relax here. Let it surrender to the posture. You might get a couple of back pops. I always get a good back pop whenever I do a spinal twist. It doesn't matter what I'm doing before or what I've done after. There's always an opportunity here, which is what I love about spinal twists. You can never go wrong. And there's so many different kinds. So just one of my favorite types of poses. Let's take a couple more breaths here in our spinal twist. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Hug those knees into the chest. Squeeze yourself into a ball. Inhale, hold. Exhale, release to Shavasana. Our feet reach towards the bottom corners of our mat. Our arms rest at our sides, palms facing upward. Let's come back to those breaths we used at the beginning of class. So just taking a couple of long, slow breaths. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Second, deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. Good. Let's do one more deep inhale through the nose. And exhale out the mouth. And come back to the natural breath once again. Releasing any control over the breath and letting it flow through you. Taking this time to let your body fully relax. Noticing any tension of any areas of your body and taking this moment to release it. Taking this moment to tune in on yourself. Listening to your body and what it needs. Providing it with these self-care moments and these intentional moments. And also just understanding that you deserve rest and relaxation. You deserve the opportunity to recharge. Take a couple more breaths here in our Shavasana. And you know your next inhale, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. If you'd like to stay here longer, you can turn this video off now. And when you're ready, roll to your favorite side using your arm as a pillow. Just taking a moment here to reflect on your practice and to extend gratitude towards yourself for this act of self-care and self-love today. And we'll make our way up to a comfortable seat once again. And together we'll sweep the arms up overhead. Inhale, let the hands meet. Exhale, float them down to heart center. Namaste. Okay guys, thank you for joining me for this gentle talk through yoga practice. Let me know what you thought about this video, if you enjoyed the talk through. Make sure you listen to my meditation album, which will be out by the time this video comes out. Check the link in my description about joining my channel as a member for longer and more exclusive videos, as well as follow me on Instagram at Yoga with Nico, and check out all my links down below. There's a link to my Amazon storefront as well, where I bought this outfit, so I'll place affiliate links down there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace and love.